All right. Welcome to the Over and Under podcast. Today we have something different. I'm really excited about it. I have one of a good friend, I would say. Was going to go to my wedding, but let's just say, 2020 happens and COVID attacked.
But I was at the
Uh
engagement. I was at the
huh?
engagement. I was
But
at the engagement.
she was at
Yes.
the engagement. We do appreciate you because I was nervous as hell
Mhm.
at that engagement. But as you all know, I'm doing a series called NFL Fans, and I just want to say the first person that I have on here, a die-hard Cowboys fan. We got to get the tough team out the way first, but
The stuff.
America's best team. I have with me the
Mhm.
most energetic, probably die-hard Cowboy fan, Alma Hunt.
That's
Welcome to
interesting.
welcome to the Over and Under podcast, and we appreciate you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. I know we have been talking for a while about me getting on a pod, so I'm excited that everything finally lined up to where I could be on there and a part of your new series. So that's cool.
It's been like 2 years, to be
Right,
honest with you. We've been talking about it
right,
for
right.
about 2 years, but I finally, we finally put all the chips, together, and now we're gonna let them roll.
Yeah.
Um, Alma, how
Yes.
long have you been a Cowboys fan? Let's, because I'm gonna tell you me first, right?
Okay.
I had a Cowboys wallet. I don't know if you remember, like back in the '90s, you could get like the Cowboys wallet with your
Like the
nickname on it.
with the star on it.
Yes. And me and my cousin got those for our birthday. I think we were like 10 or 11. And one says Bullet because that's like my nickname, and then his was Bubba. So it's like Bubba and Bullet. And that's kind of when I guess I was just cemented into being a Cowboys fan.
Mhm.
I want to know your experience.
So I've been a Cowboys fan since I was young. My dad is a huge Cowboys fan. And of course, I mean, I'm from the Metroplex, but it wasn't really like, I guess it's a little bit of both, being a local person and also childhood. But what's funny is I have two older brothers and or two brothers. My older brother is a Tampa Bay Bucks fan. He's actually at the game
Ooh.
now in Houston, where they're playing the Texans, and I have it playing in the background, but it's on mute, in case he's on ESPN. And then my younger brother is a Colts fan. So it didn't really spread out through the family. I think my younger brother was a fan of Peyton Manning, and then my older brother's fans of different Bucks players from the past, and that's how they got their teams. But I had been a Cowboys fan forever. My dad took me to my first Cowboys game at Texas Stadium. I think I was about 9. They played the Cardinals, if I remember correctly, is what he's told me. In 1996. So
1996.
yes,
Wow.
so I have been a fan forever, and I mean, like they always say, this is a lifestyle. So even when they make me mad, even when they mess up, even things happen, I'm not going anywhere. So yeah, I have been a Cowboys fan for a really long time.
I'm glad you brought that up. That you said, no matter what, you've been a loyal fan, right? The
Loyal
up,
to the soil, okay.
hey, loyal to the soil, the ups and downs.
Hmm.
So I want to know, what are your best moments as a fan, and what are your worst? Like, what's been like you jump for joy, and then like just something where you were just down in the dumps. Like it's just not going to be a good day for you.
Hmm. So I think a couple of my favorite moments, some have to do obviously with the team and some with the team, but indirectly. So recently, one of my favorite moments was finally seeing Jimmy Johnson get in the Ring of Honor
Right.
at the stadium. Everyone that's been a Cowboys fan, or even maybe not, just knows the storied history of Jimmy Johnson and the team and Jerry Jones. And for the longest, as fans, not seeing Jimmy, who obviously was our coach and helped us get the 3 Super Bowl rings in the 90s, not seeing him in the Ring of Honor and every year get passed up and passed up. It was like, man, Jerry, can you let this feud like go, because you guys before all of this were friends,
Yeah.
went to school together in Arkansas, like y'all were friends. And so for it to just be so nasty that you don't even put Jimmy Johnson in the ring is crazy. So that was definitely one of my favorite moments as a fan, because Jimmy was just so happy. And to see him with the triplets, and just for it is just a great moment to finally be like, okay, finally maybe Jimmy and Jerry could just, well,
Hash it out.
Jerry more so. Okay, let's be
Yeah.
real. Jerry more so
Yeah.
than he is. They finally let Jimmy go into the hall. So that was great. And then I think Romo's first playoff win in 2009 was awesome, just again because we just hadn't had that success in a long time. And to see Romo, who I was a really big Tony Romo fan, to get his first playoff win against Seattle, and then to see, or no, that was the Eagles. He got his first playoff win against the Eagles in the wild card game, and then of course to see Dak get his first playoff win were some of the proudest moments that I think, at least from what I can remember. Because again, I was a kid in the 90s, so I don't remember the Super Bowl era. You can watch the tapes and read the history and things like that, but I didn't actually experience those. And these I did experience. So those are some of my highlights of being a Cowboys fan.
So let me tell you something that's kind of probably going to be funny to you. 2 weeks ago, I was sitting on the couch
Mm-hmm.
and Bree was bringing up Tony Romo, and I was like, the Spanish, Mexican fan bases really like Tony Romo. I don't know why they like the white guy. And she was like, Charles,
Yeah,
he's not white. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, Romo. She
yeah.
was like, really? And I was like, oh man,
Antonio, hello. Yes,
I
Antonio.
feel so bad. I feel so out of place. She was like, "Are you really a Cowboy fan?" I was like, "Yes, I am. I swear I
Antonio,
am." But
Antonio Romo. So
I was
yes.
like, "How did I not know that?" Right?
Mhm.
All right. So, what's the bad? Tell
Oh,
me what's had you down in the dumps.
uh, the fumble, the Tony Romo
Mm.
fumble, obviously, that in the playoffs in 2012. Yeah, that sucked. And then the was it a catch? Was it not a catch? Obviously, the Dez caught it.
Was it
Um,
a catch?
it was a catch.
Okay.
And it's
What's
just funny to see things now, and
Yeah, the rules change and everything.
it's
Yes.
like the rules change for everybody but the Cowboys, right? Because y'all just don't want the Cowboys to succeed. And then to hear Dean Blandino explain stuff, and it's still angering me. I'm just like, man, you ruined this for me. Like, I can't even hear you talk, because that was a catch. And for it to be against Green Bay, yeah, I will still never forget that. It will still always be a catch to me. So those definitely were some of the worst moments as a Cowboys fan that I lived through.
You
Just like,
know, I think everybody can probably put those as the top two,
yeah,
as definitely we lived through.
yes.
Um, Now, we talked about how you first became, or how got into the Cowboy tradition, became a fan with your
Mhm.
dad, and I just want to kind of go back today. So you say your brothers were Colts and Tampa Bay fans,
Yes. So
correct?
my older brother is a Tampa Bay fan, and my younger brother is a Colts fan.
So how's that on like Thanksgiving, or how does that work?
Oh man, my brothers, especially my older brother, like they go in on the Cowboys, but they'll be telling me stuff that I already would have read about the Cowboys and know about the Cowboys, letting me know. I'm like, don't y'all have other teams to focus on, like y'all's team to focus on? But my older brother, like he will go to war with my cousins, and just he's a hater. Okay, so my older brother, nah, he is one of the biggest Cowboy haters, which is crazy because we all grew up in the household where we were all fans of the Cowboys. And again,
Yeah,
I don't really know the story of how they kind of drifted into. I think it was more so players in the culture that they like, the teams that they like. And again, my younger brother with just Peyton Manning being like his favorite quarterback of all time. So, but no, it is. They're gonna watch it because we're all over here for Thanksgiving at the house, so they're
yeah,
definitely gonna watch the Cowboys game. But they're gonna talk crap. They do not like the Dallas Cowboys, and they will laugh. Like yesterday when I was at the game, like me and my brothers have a group chat because we're more of the sports people. Not that my sister doesn't like watch sports, but when I'm talking, I talk to my brothers, and so they're texting me about the defense, and they're texting me about this and that, and I'm like, I forgot that y'all don't have games on right now because
Oh,
obviously
like why are you annoying me right now? I'm just trying to watch it.
now and my the Colts played at 3, and so the Cowboys were on at noon, and I was like, "Don't y'all got other?" I was like, "There's nothing on y'all watching besides the Cowboys game." Like telling me about. I was like, "I'm at the game. Like I'm watching it. I see it. Y'all don't have to let me know. I got it." So yeah, it is what it is with them. I get used to it, but no, my brother, my especially my older brother, my younger brother, he'll go in on moments, but my older brother, him and one of my cousins, Cedric, they be getting into it all the time about the Cowboys.
You
I try not to because I know how he is. Um, but yeah, I just try
you
not to
got
talk.
you gotta love a good family feud.
Yeah,
Definitely. Thanksgiving, Christmas, or just whenever football's on, right? Especially when your
yeah.
team wins, and then people got to get there to go play. They want to leave. They
I
don't want to talk
know.
about it anymore.
Yeah, I know with the Cowboys playing the Chiefs this year for Thanksgiving and them playing the Commanders for Christmas, two very like top dog. I mean, yeah, the Chiefs are starting off slow right now at 0-2, but you don't ever count out Patrick Mahomes, right? And the fact that he's going to be coming home to play in AT&T Stadium. So, with those being our opponents for the holidays, I know that the talking will be elite. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to prepare myself for it. I mean, if they lose, they lose. Like, it's some tough opponents. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, Jay Daniels, like, it's tough. So I can't even be mad. They do.
So, just speaking of the win and loss column, after
Mm-hmm.
the first 2 weeks of football, obviously, we're 1-1,
Mm-hmm.
and preseason, a lot of people talked about the Cowboys just another disappointing year. They wouldn't come out and get blown out by the Eagles. We didn't
Mm-hmm.
know Spitgate was going to happen, right? But thank God, we got disciplined players and they don't. And then obviously, we lose that game, but there were some great highlights of the games, and then there was some bad with CD Lamb and the drops. And then you have this game, there were also bad, but there was a lot of good. After the first 2 weeks of football, are your preseason expectations upgraded or kind of like, I think we're kind of where we're going to be at for the season?
This is exactly where I thought we would be at, as far as record. I did not think we were going to beat the Eagles, and I thought we would beat the Giants. Um, although what is frustrating about the Eagles game, is that they came out hot. They came out on a mission to prove, what everybody was talking about, including fans, that we were going to get blown out. That was a very winnable game. And obviously, you had the drops by CD, you had the fumble by Miles Sanders, you had the drop by Jake Ferguson. It's just like that was a winnable game because when you hold an explosive offense like the Eagles to 24 points, you held AJ Brown to one catch in garbage time. You held Devontae Smith to like 11, I think maybe 2 catches.
It was like two catches. Yeah.
Yeah, when you hold a team like that with an offense like that, they did what they could with Saquon. Saquon really wasn't a factor. He got what he got because Saquon is always going to get what he's going to get, right? But that was a good game, and that was a winnable game, and I think that was what was frustrating about the Eagles game because they very well so. Heck, they probably would have been 1-1 if we didn't get lucky yesterday with Aubrey because where was that defense in the Eagles game yesterday against the Giants? Like, I get the division games are always going to be tough, but what was super frustrating about watching yesterday is what was that on the field? Like, what was that defense? Our secondary got torched, which again, I don't think there was nothing that made me confident that the defense would be better. I get that we got Matt Eberflus in here, and he's supposed to be a defensive mind, but there was nothing that made me confident that we weren't going to be bad. Like
I think it's the personnel.
yeah, that we have been in the last few years. But Trayvon Diggs, just what is going on with you? Like you spent your
He's not 100%.
he could not be 100%, then get off the field or not cover the top dog. If you're going to be the top dog, you're going to want to cover the top dog, right? So you're going to cover Neighbors, obviously, and he was torching him. And it's also people have this saying, people have been saying that Russell Wilson is washed. And I like Russell Wilson. He's definitely an op now because he plays for the Giants and he's in NFC East. So welcome to death row. Like,
Welcome to death row.
not really love over here anymore, but I do love Russell Wilson. And this guy is going to be in the Hall of Fame. So when people talk about Russell Wilson being washed, and then they look at a game like, game one, Russell's job was in jeopardy. Game two, now they're like, oh, what were we even thinking? But it definitely exposed the Dallas defense for kind of what we knew that it was going to be. But that's not to say that Russell Wilson is a bad quarterback. I do not think he's a bad quarterback. Those throws, like some of those throws that he had yesterday were beautiful. He has a gorgeous ball that he throws long. It was incredible to see. So, you think he just, exposed what the weaknesses that we have on safeties, our corners. We missed Bland yesterday.
Yeah.
You could tell that not having him on the field that he was missed. I won't get in. I know maybe we'll get into the other person that they're probably missing on the
Yeah,
defense.
we're definitely gonna get to that for sure.
But
Yeah.
I'll add that in there. But you could tell that there's holes in there to let Russell Wilson go off like he did. Not saying that he wouldn't have gone off like he did, but 450 yards, he absolutely shredded that defense.
Speaking of Russ and
Mm-hmm.
speaking of quarterbacks,
Mm-hmm.
my next question to you is kind of going to be tough because I know that Dak is your guy.
Oh, you I did
Okay,
before. That's my dude.
Dak has, and I'm gonna state some fact. Dak only has 2 playoff wins in his career.
Mhm. Right.
2017 NFC wildcard game against Seahawks,
Mhm.
24-22, and then Tampa Bay in
Mhm.
2023,
Yeah.
31-14 win, a pretty good win.
Yeah.
The trophy of the Lombardi is going to be held up in February. Okay,
Mhm.
always the Lombardi is going to be held up in February by whichever team is basically going to win the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
Do you see Dak holding that Lombardi and bringing it back to Ireland, or do you see the Cowboys basically wasting another quarterback?
Uh, I do believe in Dak, and I think that Dak can bring this city and this team on Lombardi because it really begs the question, like, if not him, who? Um, I
Because
will say,
Milton is bad. I'm just going ahead and let you know Milton is horrible.
like, you want 15 yards, Milton's gonna throw the ball to get you 15.
80. He's gonna get
You
you
want
80.
15 yards, he's gonna throw a ball that's gonna wide miss for 80 yards. Like, there is no dimension in him. Like, he's always gonna throw the long ball. And if anyone that watched preseason and watched Milton and then tells me that he's supposed to be in here because you don't want Dak, in the last 2 weeks you haven't seen Dak put on a show. Like, what is he? It was not Dak's fault that we gave up 37 points yesterday. It
It's
was
not,
the defense that gave up 37 points yesterday. If it wasn't for what Dak did in that game by getting that ball to Pickens, by going on the run to get the yards, then Aubrey wouldn't have been in field goal range to kick the game winning field goal. Now, hey, he probably would have because I think Aubrey can kick from 70 yards, like I said. But still, if it was not for what Dak was doing, we would not have been in the position to win. So I definitely have confidence that Dak can bring this city a title. Um, it's really hard because I can't say that he's set up for failure because on paper, the Dallas Cowboys are supposed to be good, right? When you look at the Dallas Cowboys on paper for years, like with Dak, with Romo, those were solid teams that you're looking at on paper. They're supposed to be good. The biggest problem for the Dallas Cowboys to get over that hump is the Dallas Cowboys. They shoot themselves in the foot, which is why they can't make it across to the promised land to getting where we were in the glory days of the 90s. So
facts.
I'm not going to say that he's not set up for success because I do believe he's set up for success. Now there's a lot of new guys, a lot of young guys on the offensive line. Again, the Cowboys, essentially the Tyron Smiths, the Zach Martins, the Leighton Vander Esch's, they're gone. they have retired. So we're bringing in a crop of new people. So there's a lot of youth that is on both sides of the ball. But I still believe in Dak. I still believe in four. It was really great to see him be more mobile yesterday. I know that coming off of the injury that he suffered last year, he probably was a little scared about
Yeah.
using his legs, but that's the archetype quarterback that is in the league now. The Daks, the Jalen Hurts, the Justin Herberts, the Josh Allens that are built to run. So I'm glad that he's feeling more confident in himself to run. He also looked like he slimmed down a whole lot. Like he looks like he is in some of the best shape that he's been in since he became gotten in the league. Not saying that he was ever overweight and stuff, but if you look at Dak before and you look at Dak now, he is really slim. And I think that could help. I think of course he hears the noise. Um,
Yeah, he lives in
you know,
DFW. He's gonna hear the noise for sure.
welcome to the end of the DFW, right? But I just look at if not him, who? Like you're not going to tell the Cowboys are never going to be bad enough to draft a quarterback of the future. They're never going to be bad enough to draft a Patrick Mahomes, to draft a Lamar Jackson, to draft a Josh Allen, right? They're always going to be in the middle of the pack when it comes to their record. So they're not going to be bad enough to draft that quarterback that they say is supposed to get us over the hump and get us to the Super Bowl. It's not going to be like an Arch Manning. Virtually, I don't
I
know a lot of
I
the
hope not. God
college,
no.
quarterbacks that are coming out, but it would just so let's rally behind four because I look around the league. This is a guy that finished second in MVP voting, you know. So for people to still not give him his credit, I get it. You're to get your credit to really get your due, you have to win playoff games, right? 2-for-5 in the playoffs is not a good record. Roman was 2-for-4 in the playoffs. So no, it's not. You gotta beat, it's cool to beat the Giants, right? You gotta beat the Lions. You gotta beat the Eagles. You gotta beat
Yep.
the Chiefs. You know, those are the teams that you see in the postseason, and those are the teams that you have to beat to earn the respect, especially in this metroplex. But I do believe that Dak is the guy that can get us there. So,
I agree with you. I believe that he's got a lot of criticism.
mm-hmm.
With the weight thing, I remember watching him in Mississippi State, and then from Mississippi State all the way to now, he definitely has slimmed down,
Mm-hmm.
and he's definitely looks in his best shape of his life. I think he made a lifestyle change, maybe this summer or this off season after the injury. Like, hey, I got to take better care of my body.
Mm-hmm.
I play for an organization that has everything that I need, right? Let me take advantage of that. Let me be more involved in the community. I think he's been more involved in the community in Dallas, the DFW. So I'm with you. I'll rally behind four.
Yeah,
Now, I'm
he
gonna be
should
honest with you. I'm gonna be
root
honest
for
with you.
us. Mhm.
It's 8 years with four. It's already 8 years. I can only give him 10. I'm I can only give you a decade. If a decade you ain't at least got us to the Super Bowl, we gotta start putting you in a leadership position to get the next one ready.
Maybe, but it took Drew Brees and it took Peyton Manning nine till their season 9 to get their Super Bowls.
We're in
Not
eight.
comparing him to Drew Brees or Peyton Manning, right? Like two Hall of Fame quarterbacks, right? Like I'm not comparing him to Drew Brees and to Peyton Manning, but again, it took them to their ninth season to get 13 Super Bowls.
So year 10, we're looking at Dak. There's no Super Bowl. Say he goes to the divisional finals and he loses after year 10. Year 11, you still want Dak or you want to go ahead and start rebuilding? Honestly.
It really would depend on what the quarterback class looks like coming out of college. Or maybe what's out there. I mean, I definitely want to be able to experience a Super Bowl in my lifetime, and I don't want to give up on four, but you're right. Like the year 10, year 11, yeah, you might be looking at, okay, well, is it me? Am I the drama? Like, what do we need to do to like get over what do
Like
we
we've been here for a decade. Like
do?
let's get it in
So
order.
let's get it together because I think the millennials that are Cowboys fans would like to see us win a ring. Like
Please, I would like to experience a parade if Frisco or Arlington or wherever they have it, Dallas
yes,
downtown. I would love to experience it.
I've
I'm taking
experienced
off. I'm
it
taking off
with
2 days.
the Rangers. I've experienced it with the Mavericks. I want to experience it with the Cowboys. So it's a long overdue. There'll
It
be
is.
like there is 500,000 people at the Rangers parade. Can you imagine the amount of people that would be in Arlington if the Cowboys won a Super Bowl?
You got to shut down 30. You got to shut down. I think you got to shut down 30. You got to shut down everything.
I mean, a million at least, and I think
Yeah.
that's being generous. A million people
Yeah.
will be in Arlington, wherever, to at the parade for the Cowboys. Absolutely.
All right. So we're gonna kind of get back to the shape of the team, the structure of the team. We had a coaching change. All
Yeah.
right. So the coaching staff, we already talked about the secondary coach, and the defense is not looking too hot. All right. But how do you feel about Brian Schottenheimer? And do you think he could be a long term, or you think this is something just Jerry wants short term? And mind you, I want to get to Jerry. Don't think that Jerry is not going to get
Where's the
his
Jerry?
due on this podcast. But I just want to know how. What do you think about the coaching, the head coaching position? Do you think it's long term or short term with him?
Well, considering that he had Jason Garrett for 10 years and he had McCarthy as long as he had McCarthy, it doesn't seem like Jerry was really in the for firing a coach after 2 or 3 years, right? I like Shoddy so far from what I see. I think one of the most important things is that it looks like the team really likes him, respects his voice. I think he's got a little bit of spice and he's a little authoritative, and I think they need somebody like that that's not going to be such a yes man. Maybe behind the scenes he's a yes man to Jerry, but he's not playing that with the guys on the field.
Yeah.
And I do like that about him. It's nice to see a run game be established. I like Williams. Miles Sanders. I can't wait till Blue gets on the field to see what that mix is going to be. He's definitely going to take um those snaps from Miles Sanders. But I can't wait to see that. And I know that Shoddy wants to elevate the run game. So I'm encouraged, even after game one. Like, we were supposed to get blown out, right? We were
Yep.
supposed to get blown out by the Eagles. And for it to be 24-20, I came away from that game really encouraged about the things that I saw with the Cowboys. So that makes me encouraged with what Brian can do. So I hope that I'm not, tooting the horn early. So, so far though, I like what I see. And I just hope that we can continue on that. Eberflus, it's not impressing me so far. Okay. It's not. And watch them, go in here and, play against the Bears on Sunday and we get the defense clicking on all cylinders. And just no. I'm
No.
not for the back and forth, up and downs. Like, not saying that Russell's a bad quarterback, but he threw for 450 yards yesterday. That's ridiculous. Like defense, what are you doing? You cannot stop a nosebleed. Like, what is happening right now? Like, no disrespect to Russell, but he threw for 450 yards yesterday.
So obviously there's defensive struggles.
Mm,
We already know that. Did you see that we're bringing kind of a defensive personnel, Javon Clowney,
yeah,
Clowney,
yeah,
um, as the defensive end. Now, obviously, that comes with um, overshadow still not being 100%, and
yeah,
then we had obviously Michael Parsons left. But before we get to Parsons, Clowney,
yeah.
is it a how you on a 1 to 10 scale? Do you think it's gonna gravitate to something that it could help the defensive end room, linebacker, outside linebacker, defensive room, or is it kind of like Jerry is doing something to kind of like stop the talking about how, oh, we could have used Parsons there, or Parsons would have got that, or Parsons wouldn't let somebody run like that.
Did you see the game yesterday? I don't
I,
think we can get any worse. I'm just saying, I don't think we can get any worse than what was on display yesterday. But I give it maybe a 7. I watched today his interview, like he was interviewing with media, and he said he still has a lot of gas left in the tank. So we'll see. Um, Obviously, I think it's a little bit of like Jerry's trying to be like, okay, we got somebody
yeah,
discount, we're bringing them in. I'm trying to save some money. Okay, whatever.
yeah.
So I think it's a little bit for Jerry to appease the people to not talk about 11, and the trade. So I mean, I'm at a 7, so we'll just see. But I just don't think it could get any worse than what was on display yesterday. So I'm hoping, especially with him being a vet too, to a younger, defensive room, maybe that can bring something there too. So we'll see. I kind of went into the season, fortunately, with no expectations because I've never been that fan that's been like, we're going to the Super Bowl every year, right? I'm very much a realist.
Yeah.
So I didn't go into expectations because I'm trying not to get so emotionally involved and upset to where I'm physically ill about a sports team because that happens.
So I was gonna get to that
Right?
because
So
I have a I have a moment where I'm this, and when the trade happened, because obviously we're gonna talk about your emotional moment with just Dallas sports, right? Which you are a diehard Dallas
I'm
fan
a
of sports.
diehard Dallas sports fan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Rangers, the Mavs, the Cowboys,
the Wings. Okay,
The Wings.
it's
Hey,
my
the
girl.
Wings. So I get home, or actually, I'm sitting down and I see Luka Doncic is traded, and I want to let you know something. I told my wife, I told Bree, I said, "Hey, when Alma posts on Instagram, I need you to let me know. I gotta go take a shower and I gotta go sit down because I know she is she's gonna be so hurt."
Ooh.
And I was waiting. I was just waiting for you. And you were at work. I think you were at work.
No, I actually because it happened at 11:30
Yeah.
on a Saturday. I was not at work. I had been working the overnight shift for like the last several months prior to this. And I was at home sleep. Um but I just fell asleep with all these lights on and everything, and something woke me up at about 11:28. And my phone goes to do not disturb at 10 o'clock. But there's a few people that I let bypass to send me messages, like my family, and some of my close friends. And so I had 2 messages. One from one of my good homeboys, and another one from a guy that I have a crush on. So I just let him bypass too. So I had the 2 messages said Alma Luca, and then another one said that's crazy.
Oh,
Never did I think that it was a trade. I thought Luca had died. Okay, like I thought that
not died.
I
Oh,
thought that Luca was like out for the season. Like I thought it was something like that. I did not think that it was a trade. So I flipped my phone open and I opened the text. And before that's crazy, there's the Mavs traded Luca. I told that man to get the hell off my phone. I said, man, get off my phone. He's like, no, I'm so serious. So then I flip my phone. I have like 10 missed calls. I see all these texts. I see I have Bleacher Report, ESPN alert, Sports Center, everything.
mm.
I was up from that moment until 5:30 a.m. I could not sleep.
Oh,
I was watching TV like hoping it is a joke. When I say physically ill to where I threw up, I was crying, like my chest hurt. Again, you would have thought that he died for real. Like that's how I was feeling. It was just so unbelievable. And I think I got 2 hours of sleep. I
Oh
woke back
man.
up so I could be on Twitter with first shift Twitter because again they did this in the dead of night and people were asleep.
Yes, it was
I wanted
crazy. It
to
was a
get the
crazy night.
from the people that were waking up to this news. I canceled like I had plans for brunch that day. I canceled them. I was in a state of denial, misery, anger, upset. It was the worst. And I'll never forget February 2nd, 2025 because what? I can go on a tangent about that. And I know this is a football segment, but it's just that was awful. It was an awful day for the worst trade in sports history. I think that if the return
Hmm.
was significant, because you're talking about freaking Luka Doncic, all right? Like I'm talking 8 first round picks of what they
8?
return. Okay, if Mikel
Okay, wait, no, we can't get deep into that. We can't get deep into that.
right, we
But
can get into that. I'm just saying, but if the return was worth it, I would have been like maybe, but probably still.
so with Lucas trade,
Hmm.
very emotional. Okay, very emotional. Just out of the wazoo, just a late night. What the hell? You see Michael Parsons and Jerry Jones going at it for over the summer, over the offseason, just months going by. And then you see Michael Parsons laying on the training on the bench on the preseason game, and you're kind of like, what are we doing here, right?
Hmm.
But then you go back a couple of months and you see Tyler Booker, who's an Alabama guard that got, drafted by the Cowboys. And you see him, talking to Parsons on the like the NFL draft
Yeah.
media stuff. And he looks excited. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna love this guy and everything. What happens between then and there? And was the relationship basically? I want to know, was the relationship so bad with Jerry that you think it had got to a point where he was like, I have to get out of here? Or was it in an instance where you were like, it's just the end? Like, this was the end. This is what we have to do to move forward. And this is just one that got away, or this is just one that we got to take it on the chin. And how did you feel about it emotionally compared to the Luka trade?
So I'm not gonna lie to you, Charles. When I got the alert at work that Micah Parsons was traded to Green Bay Packers, I laughed. I laughed. I said, "Oh well, I didn't." Okay, because again, was the same city. This was the city that took Luca away from me. So emotionally, I was tapped. They took Luca. I wasn't like after, and I'm not saying that Michael Parsons is not a good player. Okay, he is a good player. He is someone that you build a defense around. He is a catalyst. I don't know if he's a leader, per se. Like I got sick of the antics with the podcast during the season. Like, man, we just lost. We just got our teeth kicked in. You got what? One tackle during the Green Bay playoff game. You did nothing for me. Like, and now you're going to go join the ops. Okay. Like again, this city took Luca away from me. I don't have any emotions. So when I first saw that he got traded, I laughed. Um, and I also was like, well, Jerry picked the right one to play with because Jerry has had this Teflon Don, I'm untouchable kind of aura about him. When you make yourself the president, owner, CEO, general manager of the Dallas Cowboys, you think you're untouchable. So I don't think Jerry thought that he was really going to get away, especially because he came out and said, we're not trading him. We're not trading him. We're not. And then it was all of a sudden, well, we're listening to trade offers. Um, I think that Jerry's old and Jerry's old school. So he thought he could go around and just have a little like little kiki with the player and himself, and they agree on something without talking to the agent. And we're talking
Yeah.
about an agent that is the top dog agent in the NFL, and that got Deshaun Watson $250 million guaranteed,
A
and
finesse. Oh my god.
he is as soft as toilet paper. All right, he might as well be like he got that man $250 million guaranteed. He might never play in a Cleveland Browns uniform again. So if you thought that you were going to have a negotiation without this dude being president, you crazy. Now, do I think it was funny to see when Micah Parsons talked about, oh, it's not about the money. I want to be a Cowboys for life. Da 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 da. His mom went to the Cowboys game. He was playing in Green Bay. In first game, she was at game one. She was at the Cowboys game. So his family was diehard Cowboys fans. And then to hear, I just want to be here. I just want to be here. But at the same time, you got to pay your players. There's a respect thing. And like I said, Jerry thought he was untouchable, invincible, and that Micah Parsons wasn't going to go anywhere. He wasn't going to ask for a trade. They were going to get a deal done, and he don't have to worry about it. He can wash his hands clean because he thought, again, he had the leverage. And I thought that Jerry had the leverage too. Micah Parsons was under contract. And if there didn't come to an agreement, he could franchise tag him. If they didn't come to an agreement then, he could franchise tag him again. He did the same thing with Dak. He did the same thing with DeMarcus Lawrence. So to actually see that it ended the way that it did, with Micah being traded to Green Bay, I definitely think there are some relationship issues there with Micah, his agent, and with Jerry. But again, when you have an owner that's all in the videos, doing all the dancing, that Jerry Jones is. Because let's be very clear, to me, these latest contracts with Micah, with CD, with Dak, this isn't Jerry, because Jerry's notorious for signing people. This is Steven Jones. And this is Steve trying to protect his legacy. But also, when you see things like Trayvon Diggs gets a payday, he gets hurt. Deron Bland gets a payday, he gets hurt. And Michael was legit dealing with back issues that not only the Cowboys team doctor pointed out, but the Packers team doctor pointed out. What would have happened? And back injuries are not something to play with, i.e.,
yeah, especially at that position in the trenches.
Vander Esch, did he have a back or was it a neck? Either way, like, those are serious injuries. And if he were to get hurt, you're talking about not even career changing. You're talking about life altering if it was serious. So you look at it and you're like, yeah, Jerry saved about $26 million plus not signing someone that has a back injury. We signed somebody and we extend their contract, and now look, Deron Bland's out. We gave Trayvon Diggs his money. He was out. So sometimes I look at it like, yeah, Jerry, I think you made the right decision. And then I look at things like yesterday and I'm like, man, we could have sure used some pass rush yesterday. But also, I think Overshown, once he is healthy, was supposed to be the Micah Parsons, 2.0. And so once he gets healthy, I think that will be just fine. Like, because he was dynamic when he was playing for us. He was doing a lot more than 11 was doing sometimes. But 11 was worried about recording a podcast.
Hey, the podcasting did have me frustrated at times, especially on Twitter. I'm like, you just, like, 3 hours ago, you were just on the field, and now you're recording a podcast. You lost, and that.
Like, did you take a shower? Did you wash
Yeah, like, literally, I was like,
we just lost. Like, I do not want to hear your mouth. Where was all that mouth when we were out there losing? I do not care what you have to say right now.
So, very disappointing with Parsons. I think Jerry made the right choice. I don't like Jerry's antics. And we gotta just, and I don't want to talk too much about Jerry because everybody just knows who Jerry is.
Right.
I just want to ask you, can we get it done before Jerry is gone? Or will it happen like soon as Jerry's gone? And I don't mean gone as in dead, because I don't wish death on anybody. Maybe he just steps down, You know what I mean? And he
Right.
gives because he's got a lot of children and grandchildren and really tight friends. You know what I mean? That maybe could take over for him, and he still kind of pulls
Oh,
the strings. You know.
Jerry's ego would not allow that. Sorry, but I get you.
But do you think we can get it done before that happens?
I hope so because as much as I don't, okay, just like Nico Harrison, okay, hmm, I like the guy. I am here for the guys that wear the uniform that have Dallas across their chest, right? So I cannot agree with the front office and the way they manage things, but I'm going to support the team. So I'm not the biggest Jerry Jones fan. I'm not going to sit here and say that, I love
Yeah,
Jerry. But I have respect, I think, for Jerry Jones. And I would like to see them get one while Jerry is still around. Do I think that's going to happen? I would hope so because we don't have much of a time frame, right? Like if we've been talking like we were talking earlier about that getting it in 2 to 3 years, then you hope Jerry's still around in those 2 to 3 years to see that happen.
fast.
Um, so I do hope that I don't know. I would hope so. But when it is time for him to step down, like you said, he's got a lot of family. Steven's next in line. That's why I say these contracts currently. This is Steven Jones, right? Because this is his legacy. So Steven's next in line. And Jerry's been in that position for how long? So we have another 40, 50 years of a Jones family member being in the mix. And Steven is not smarter than Jerry. So, but again, like I said, nobody wants to talk to Steven Jones, like except our local radio stations.
Yeah,
They want the interviews with Steven Jones. ESPN, Stephen A, the big dogs, they want the big dog. They want to talk to Jerry. So
yeah,
Jerry's gonna make himself available. Again, Jerry's all in the videos. Like he wants to be all in the mix. So Jerry is going to be there. Like, cause respectfully, like nobody wants to talk to Steven. Like, even if this is Steven behind the scenes doing all this latest work, because again, Jerry is notorious for paying people.
yeah,
They don't want to him. They want to talk to Jerry. So yeah, I hope because I think I do have a level of respect for Jerry that they can get it while he's here. So that's what I'll say about that. And Jerry Jones. But like you said, Jerry's gonna Jerry and Jerry's gonna be Jerry
this is what it is.
and it is what it is. Like you a fan of the team or the players, or you a fan of Jerry Jones. Like you gotta separate the two. So you a fan of the Mavericks or you a fan of Nico Harrison. You gotta separate the two. So that's what I just choose to do.
Yeah, I still haven't got over that, but yeah.
Won't ever and won't ever and
Okay,
won't ever.
so you went to the New York game,
Yes.
correct? When
Yeah.
is the next game that you're going to? Tell us when you're going to the next game, and how many
So
games do you try to go to a year?
So with the way that inflation and the economy works, um, I try to go to like a couple.
Okay.
Um, I would love to go to more, but it's high dollar to get to the Cowboys game. Like yesterday when I was at the Cowboys game, there were a row of guys sitting in front of me that had on a Burrow jersey, a Lamar Jackson jersey, a Patrick Mahomes jersey, and a Brock Purdy jersey. It's not just Cowboys fans that want to get in the stadium and
Yeah.
other fan bases are pricing us out because Cowboys ticket holders and season ticket holders know they can sell to any and everybody and they're going to be in the stadium. Everybody wants to be in Jerry World. Okay. So there's a plethora of people that are in there, but it does make it convenient that they have these standing room only tickets. And that they built Texas Live because Texas Live is in itself is a party. Like I enjoy going to Texas Live and watching the
I
games.
haven't been at a
Yeah,
Cowboys game, and I want to go. I heard the tables are kind of expensive though.
like to get a table is kind of expensive, yes. But you get a group of people and we'll go, get Bree, we'll go to a game, we'll go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Or it's just so when the Cowboys are away, it's free to get into Texas Live and watch the game. When the Cowboys are home, it's $10, which isn't bad at all. You get your wristband and you can be in Texas Live. But the tables inside of what they call the arena, the Shift 4 arena, what you pay for. But
Mhm.
outside, there's benches and stuff. And when it's a nice day, you can sit outside and watch the game and stuff like that. And they have, they have servers and stuff like that. And you can go to any of the other restaurants up top. And again, they have tables up there that you don't have to pay for, and you can watch the game. So it is a whole experience. So I suggest going to Texas Live because I do enjoy going there. So the next game I plan on going to is the Green Bay game.
Ooh.
Definitely was already planning on being in the building anyway before the Micah Parsons trade. And I probably should have gotten tickets before then.
Yeah, you probably should have.
Before the trade. But a friend of mine was like, "Oh, I want to go to the Green Bay game." And I was like, I want to go to that too. But now we should have gotten tickets before this trade done. But no, I definitely plan on being at the Green Bay game Sunday night. That is the next game I will go to. And, shout out to PayPal and so you can pay for stuff like that now. Shout out to them.
We appreciate that.
We appreciate the hookup. So I hope I can get to the Green Bay game. If not, I would like to go to the Cardinals game when the Cardinals are here, because I do like Kyler Murray, and we call it Kyler AT&T Stadium since he has never lost in high school and is in professional career in AT&T Stadium. But hopefully that changes this year. Let's break the Kyler Murray win streak in AT&T Stadium. That boy doesn't lose here. So, and of course, I'm coming back home. So if I don't get to the Green Bay game, but that's the plan, it will be to go to the Cardinals game. That'll be the next one.
If you want to, just Texas Live. We should go on the when they play the Commanders, October 19th. We could try to get a table.
Is that here or is that in?
It's here.
That was here?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. I was about to say, when do they play Christmas? I think they're in DC.
Christmas, DC.
Yeah. So I think they're in DC because they play them on Christmas. And I was like, what year? So I think they're in DC for the Christmas game. But yeah, I'd be down for that too. Like I said, you never been. Texas Live isn't it?
I've been to Texas. I just haven't been during Cowboys game. We always go during like March Madness, and sometimes have you been to Cosm?
I have not been there, and I've definitely wanted to get there too. I think that would be fun too to go there.
It's fun, but you got to be like a diehard fan, because if you're not like a diehard fan, it is. It's not. You won't like
really?
it. Yeah.
Well, I don't have to worry about that. I'll go and be that. It's okay. You said the 19th. All right. I knew that. And then the Mavericks home opener is 3 days after that. So I'll be ready. Ready for both.
We're ready for the Dallas, Dallas sports train. So
I'm ready for the Dallas sports train. Definitely. The Rangers have a big series tonight at the start, I think here soon, against the Astros. And now they're 2 games out of the playoffs. Right? Yeah. So, and again, this was a team
horrible,
and all the injuries and stuff. Like, we don't have no Marcus Semien, no Corey Seager, no Uvalde, and this team is now 2 games out of a playoff spot. So this 3-game series that starts today against Houston is critical because we're 2 games behind Houston. So if they can just win 2,
well, we're gonna pray. We're gonna pray for the Rangers to win. We hope the Cowboys win this Sunday. They go to Chicago.
Yes, we hope the Cowboys win this Sunday. Unfortunately, what's sad is that Chicago today just lost one of their corners, like their best corner, is injured and out for the season. So advantage us. I definitely don't like seeing a player injured, but maybe advantage us, and hopefully we can beat them enough to maybe where they have to sit the starters, maybe 4th quarter-ish, because we've got to prepare for Green Bay.
Are you saying we get to see Joe Milton throw an 80-yard pass? Is that what you? If that's what you wanted, Alma, that's all you had to say. Is you wanted Joe Milton to throw an 80-yard pass.
Joe, all we needed was 10 yards. You didn't have to throw the ball 70. Oh, okay.
Listen, I appreciate this conversation with you so much. We've been wanting to do this for a long time, and we're definitely going to do this again. We're definitely going to have to invite you back. We're going to get some more people on here. They may not be Cowboy fans. They may be the team you're going against. I got some Carolina fans and some Jet fans. I don't have any Green Bay fans.
Don't get any of those. You're all right.
Okay, yeah, I
I mean,
won't get
like,
another.
you got a trend kind of right now because you got some Jet fans, you got Panthers fans, you got a Cowboys fan. That's the quarter blacks. I like to call
Hey,
them. I like to call them quarter
quarterback.
blacks.
Quarterback.
Got some fans for the tees with quarter blacks. So I love that for you. So this
Guys, once go ahead. I'm
no, this
sorry.
was fun. Like I said, we've been trying to do this for a long time. So hopefully it was fun and you enjoyed it and you invite me back. We can have, I don't know, I'll get on my college football like grind, so I can
I'm gonna
be
invite you to like a discussion. We're just gonna throw out like topics, and
okay.
you may not know anything about it, and I think that's a good thing because we'll like kind of explain, and then you can argue like your point. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so it'll be fun. It'll be like a we'll call it a ramble night, like a college ramble night or something.
Okay.
But I just want to say thank you for coming on the pod. Do you have anything you want to shout out on the pod? You got any fans or anything you want to
I have no
promote?
fans. I'm hoping I have some after this pod, like follow me on
Yeah.
Instagram. So no, I appreciate you bringing me on here. Obviously, like he said, I'm a big, DFW sports fan. So all my DFW sports fans out there, I hope I did y'all some justice and did y'all proud. And you'll probably see me around Texas Live or the stadium or at the arena when NBA season starts. So
If you see Alma, shout her out, and
y'all go,
also make sure you let her know, hey, I saw you on the Over and Under podcast.
yeah,
Great job.
y'all go follow his pod and watch it because when I get my celebrity off this pod,
Oh,
I'm gonna cut him a little percentage.
see, that's what I like. Looking out for me. You know what I mean? Looking out for me.
Exactly.
Once again, Alma, thank you. Everybody who's watching and listening to it. I'm gonna put Alma's social media in the podcast description so you can follow her. Ask her questions. Don't be talking mess. Don't be talking mess to my
Right,
guests, because
don't come in that because
yeah,
I my block
yeah,
block game is real strong.
yeah.
Okay.
And,
Right.
and Alma's a friend. She was at my wedding, and I didn't have just anybody just get invited to my wedding or engagement. You had to mean something. So we
Exactly.
really appreciate you, Alma.
Can
Uh,
fight. That's my sister. I just let y'all know, okay?
really appreciate you. And over on the podcast fans, this is me, Charles, and also our special guest, Alma, and we are out.
Thank you,
Thank
Charles.
you.
All
You're
right.
welcome. Bye.
Bye.